Welcome to my channel for comprehensive tutorials on fundamental principles to complex problems. I'll cover it all. Feel free to share, subscribe for more contents. Thank you. Hello everyone. This is exercise 17, long awaited 17C. I've done exercise 17B, which was the same topic, but in here we are going to go on the next level, which is finding out the term rule when the sequence is given. In the previous video, it was more of the terms were given and we need to find out the values or the term values. In here, all the sequence is given, and in here we need to find out the nth term, which is the term rule. And let's see how we go with it. Now, the values are 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. That means the difference between them is 2. For every term, there is a 2 fixed difference. When the difference is same, it's called as linear sequence, or we can say arithmetic sequence. So now the first term is going to be here, it's telling me 2. Now what 2 over here is saying, that what should we do with the 2 to make it a 3? So we should add 1 to it. That means 2n, which is the difference, 2n plus 1 is going to give us the term. Let's see. First is 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. This is the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. Let's see, can we find out sixth term? So 2 times 6 plus 1, which is 12, plus 1, which is giving us a 13. That means it's working out. Now 13 is the next term to it. And then comes 2 times 7 plus 1, which is 14, plus 1, so 15. So 13 and 15 both are the next two terms. Now in here it's 5, 9, 13. So the difference you can see is a 4. All of them have the same difference, which is 4. Now I know very well it is 4n. Okay, and in 4n, what should be added? Should be added 1 to it to make it a 5. Okay, so this is a term rule, and next term is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sixth term we need to find out. 4 times 6 plus 1, 6, 4 is 24, plus 1 is giving us a 25. So 25 is the next term. Then comes 4, 7 plus 1, 28 plus 1 is going to give us a 29, which is the next term to it. Now comes question number C. In here, we can see the difference is 5. Okay, so 5n, and what should I do with 5n to make it a 8? So I will add a 3 to it. So 5n plus 3 is the term rule. Next term is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means we need to find out two different terms, 5n, 6 plus 3, and 5, 7 plus 3. So this gives us 30 plus 3 and 35 plus 3. So 33 and 38 are the two terms. As you can see, the difference between these numbers is all 6. 6 is adding to 2 to make it 8. 8 plus 6 is 14. 14 plus 6 is 20. And 20 plus 6 is 26. So 6n is the first one. So 6 times 1 is a 6. And what will this 6 will become? 2. What should we do with this 6 to make it a 2? So definitely we are going to subtract 4. So this is going to be the term rule. Now the next term is going to be 6 times 6 minus 4, and the seventh term is going to be 6 times 7 minus 4. So 36 minus 4 is going to give us 36 minus 4, and 6 times 7 is 42 minus 4. So first one is going to give us a 32, and the next term is going to be giving us a 38. Moving on to the next one. In here, In question number E, it is the difference is 3 between them, so 3n. And what should we do with 3 to make it a 5? Definitely, we are going to add a plus 2. So this is going to be term rule. And in here, we need to find out the sixth term, which is 3 times 6 plus 2 and 3 times 7 plus 2. So this is going to give us 18 plus 2, and in here 21 plus 2. That means the next term is going to be 20 and 23. Next term is next sequence is 2, 9, 16, and 23 and 30. So the difference between them is a 7. As you can see, 7, 9 plus 7 is 16, and 16 plus 7 is going to give us a 23. 23 plus 7 is going to give us a 30. So 7 is the first thing that you write, 7n. Now you have 7 in hand, and what should we do to make it a 2? So definitely we are going to subtract 5. So this is how we can find out what is this term rule. And in here we need to find out the sixth term. So 2 times 6, 7 times 6 minus 5, and 7 times 7 minus 5. So this is going to give us a 42 minus 5 and 49 minus 5. So for this one is going to be 37, and 44 is going to be the next two terms. In here, the difference is, as you can see, in here 27 becomes 25, 25 becomes 23, and 23 becomes 21 and 19. So in here you can see that when it is 29, what should we do with 29 to make it a 27? So we are going to subtract, because this is going in lesser the values. Okay, so this is why it's going to be negative 2n. Now, or you can write minus 2n plus 29, both are correct. Okay, so this is the way. Now in here we need to find out the sixth term. So 2 times 6 plus 29. So this is going to be negative 12 plus 29, and this is going to be a 17. Next term is 2 minus 2, 7 plus 29. So this is going to give us minus 14 plus 29. So in here, next term is going to be a 15. These are the next two terms. Now, with this, in this exercise, we are learning how to make or how to find the term rule. For h, as you can see, we can say 46 minus 4n, or we can say minus 4n because it's decreasing. So it's going to be negative 4n plus 46. So sixth term is going to be 4, 6 plus 46, and seventh term is going to be minus 4, 7 plus 46. And this is going to give us a negative 24 plus 46 and negative 28 plus 46. So this question is going to give us a 22 and 18 from here. So these are the two terms which are going to be fitted over here as 22 and 18. Next one is a positive. Positive means it's going to increase the numbers. So n is going to be positive. So the difference between them is 3, all of them. So that means 3n. What should I do with 3 to make it a 2? Definitely we are going to subtract 1. So this is how we find out the term rule. 3, 6 minus 1, and 3, 7 minus 1, 18 minus 1, and 21 minus 1. So it's going to be 17 and 20. These are the two terms. Now in the next question, as you can see, the difference between them is a 10. All of them have a difference of 10, and I know very well 10. What should I do with 10 to make it a 2? Definitely we are going to subtract 8 from it. So 10n minus 8 is the term rule, and 10 times 6 minus 8, and 10 times 7 minus 8. So that means 60 minus 8, and 70 minus 8. So this is going to be a 62. This is going to be a 52. So 52 and 62 are the next two terms. When it comes to k, it is, you can see the difference in all of them is 4. So 4n. Okay, what should I do with 4n? 4 to make it a 8, so I will add 4 to it. So this becomes a term rule, 4n plus 4. That means sixth term, if I need to find out, 4 times 6 plus 4, and seventh term is going to be 4 times 7 plus 4. So this is 24 plus 4, and 28 plus 4. So this is going to be 28, and this is going to be 32. So these are the two numbers that are going to be for question number K. So first one is 6 times 4 is 24, 28, and 28 plus 4, 32. Then comes question number L. The difference between them is 5, you can see. All of them have a difference of 5, and 5 and minus 1 will make it a 4. Now 5 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sixth term we need to find out, and we need to find out the seventh term, minus 1. So this is going to be 30 minus 1, and 35 minus 1. That means 29 and 34 are the two terms. Now, for moving on to question number 2, as we can see, the difference between them is 3. Okay, so 3n is going to be there. Now, what should we do with the 3 to make it a 4? So we add 1. So this is going to be the term rule. Now we need to find out the 50th term. That means 3 times 50 plus 1. So it's going to be 150 plus 1. So 151 is the answer, which is the 50th term of this sequence. Now, for moving on to question number B, as we can see, the difference is only 2n. And what should we do with 2 to make it a 7? So we are going to add 5 to it. So this is going to be a term rule, and 2 times 50 plus 5 is going to be 100, plus 5 is going to give us 105. So 50th term of this sequence is going to be 105. Moving on to part C. In part C, you can see the difference is a 5. 5n is the difference. And what should we do to 5 to make it a 3? So we subtract 2 from it. That means 5 times 50 minus 2. So that means 250 minus 2, it's going to give us 248 as a 50th term of this sequence. For question number D, the difference, as you can see, is 4n. And what should we do to 4 to make it a 1? That means we need to subtract 3 from it. This is going to be the term rule. And 4 times 50 minus 3 is going to give us 100. This is 200 minus 3 is going to give us 197 as the 50th term of this sequence. Now comes question number E. In here, the difference is 8. So 8n. And what should we do with 8 to make it a 2? Definitely we are going to subtract 6 from it. So 8 times 50 minus 6. So 8 times 50 is going to be 400, minus 6 is going to be 394. Is the 50th term of this sequence. Now, as you can see, the difference is only 1 in out of them. So n, and what should we do with 1 to make it a 5? We are going to add 4 to it. That means 4. That means 50 plus 4 is going to give us a 54. So 54 is the 50th term of this sequence. Question number G. In here, the difference is 5, 5n, and we should add 1 to make it a 6. That means 5n plus 1 is going to be the term rule. 5 times 50 plus 1 is going to give us 250 plus 1, that makes 251. Moving on to the next, the difference between these numbers is 8. So 8n. So what should we do to 8 to make it a 3? Subtracting 5 will make it a 3. This is a term rule, and 8 times 50 minus 5 is going to give us, this is a 400 minus 5, so 395 is going to be the 50th term of this sequence. Moving on to question number I, the difference between all these is 3. So 3n, and 3, from 3, if we subtract 2 to make it a 1. This is the term rule. 3 times 50 minus 2, that is going to give us 150 minus 2. So 148 is the 50th term of this sequence. Question number G, question number J is the difference between all of them is 3. So 3n, and what should we do to make it a 21? We are going to add 18 to it. That means this is the term rule. 3 times 50 plus 18 is going to give us, 3 times 50 is going to be 150 plus 18. So this is going to give us 168. Moving on to the next question, which is K. In K, the difference between all of them is 7, and 7, in 7 there should be 5 added to make it a 12. That means 7n plus 5 is the term rule. 7 times 50 plus 5, so this is going to be 350, plus 5 is going to give us 355 as the 50th term of this sequence. Moving on to the next question, the difference between all of them is 8. So 8, from 8, 7 should be subtracted. So this is the term rule. 8 times 50 minus 7, this is a 400 minus 7. So 400 minus 7 is going to be giving us 393 as the 50th term of this sequence. Moving on to the next question, which is over here. As you can see, the difference between each of them is 4. So it's going to be 4n. And to make a 4 a 5, you need to add 1 to it. So this is going to be your term rule. And in here, we need to find the 100th term. So 4 times 100 plus 1 is going to be 401, is going to be your 100th term. Moving on to the next one, it's saying the difference between them is 2. That means 2n. And to make a 2 a 3, we need to add 1 to it. That means 200 plus 1. So 201 is going to be your final answer for this question. Now moving on to question number C, which is the difference is 3. So 3n plus 1 is going to be the term rule, and 3 times 100 plus 1 is going to be your answer. The difference between these guys is 2. So 2n. So 2 to make a 8, you need to add 6 to it. That means 200 plus 6 is going to be 206, is going to be your answer. The difference between these ones is a 4, as you can see. And to make a 4 a 9, we need to add 5 to it. That means 400 plus 5 is going to be your answer. 405 is the 100th term of this sequence. Now moving on to question number F. The difference between these is 5. So 5n plus 1 is going to be the term rule. 500 plus 1 is going to be your answer. 501 is the 100th sequence. Now in question number G, 3 is the difference, 3n, and to make 3 a 0, you need to subtract 3 from it. That means 300 minus 3 is going to be 297 is going to be the 100th term of this sequence. Now, moving on to the next one, the difference between uh, these numbers is a 6. So 6n, to make a 6 a 2, we need to subtract 4 from it. That means 6n minus 4 is going to be the term rule. 6 times 100 minus 4 is going to be 600 minus 4. So 596 is going to be the 100th term of this sequence. Moving on to question number I, the difference between them is 8n, and to make 8 a 7 we need to subtract 1 from it. So 8n minus 1, that means 8 times 100 minus 1 is going to be your answer. 799 is the final answer. In this sequence, as you can see, that difference is 2. Okay, so 2n, and to make 2 a 25 you need to add 23 to it. That means 200 plus 23 is going to be 223 is your final answer for the 100th term. Now moving on to question number 4. In here it says an online CD rental company use this price chart. The company charges a standard basic price of a single CD including postage and packaging. So this table is given in front of you. Now in here, as you can see, that use the charge 1 to 5 series, work out an expression for the nth term. As you can see, from here to here is different. So the difference between them is 2. That means it's going to be 2n. The difference between these is 8. So 8n. And to make 8 a 10, you need to add a 2 to it. Okay. So this is an expression using the charges for 6 to 10 series. Now in here, expression from 6 to 8, 6 to 10. 6 to 10 is going to be here. We need to find out what is this going to be. 49 becomes 57. 57 becomes 65, and 65 becomes 73. So in here, difference between n is 8n plus 1, 8n plus 1 to make it a second expression. 8n plus 1. Now the difference in from 11 to 15 is different. Let's see how. Using the charge for 11 to 15 series. 11 to 15 series means here the difference between here is 8 times n. Okay, so this is the expression. For this one is 8n plus 2. So there are 3 categories. So 8n is going to be the answer for this. What is the basic charges for a CD? It's $8. They are fixed with $8 for each CD. Now, in here, in question number 5, some quadratic sequences. These are not arithmetic sequences. These are quadratic equation sequences. So as you can see, this is the square of 1, and this is the square of 2, square of 3, square of 4, square of 5. So that's why the expression for the first one is going to be n square. In here, n square, if it is 1, you need to add a 2 to it to make it a 3. So n square plus 3 is going to be the expression or the nth term rule for this one. Now comes, this is n square. Okay, when it is 1, to make it a 2, you need to multiply by 2. As you can see, for example, first, second, third, fourth. If I say fourth, that means 4 square. That means 2 times 16 is going to be a 32, which is the fourth term. I'm talking about this one. Just try to find out if the term rule is correct or not. Now in here, n square minus 1 is going to be the term rule. Moving on to question number 6. Here are some cubic sequences. Cubic sequences is n cube, because for example, if it is 2, the second term is going to be 2 times 2 times 2, and if it is 3, 3 times 3 times 3, and 4, and so on. And moving on to the b part, which is n cube, and n cube plus 10 is going to be the term rule for this one. Now in here, n cube is multiplied by 0.5 to make it a term rule. So this is going to be 0.5 n cube, or you can say 1 over 2 n cube. This is the term rule. Moving on to the next part of it. In here, n cube is going to be multiplied by 10 to give you a term rule. Now comes question number 7. Work out the nth term of each sequence in here. 1 is the number n, and to make 1 a 6, you need to add 5 to it. Okay. Now next one is 6, 9, 14, 21, 30. So in here, this is a square of 1. To make it 6, you need to add 5 to it. So this is going to be the term rule for this. In here, it is n cube, and n cube plus 5 is going to make it a 6. Moving on to question number D. In here, it is the difference between them is 5n, n plus 1 to make it a 6. So this is going to be the term rule. Second one is a square one. So in here, n square multiplied by 5 to make it a term rule. For f, it is a cubic. So n cube is multiplied by 5 to make it a term rule. This was the last question of this exercise, and taking you back to where we started. This was exercise 17C, and very soon I'll be uploading exercise 17D for you to have a look and see how the questions are done. Thank you very much for watching. Wish you all the best and have a nice day.